If the idea of trying to convince someone to pay you $3,000 or more to work with you makes your stomach turn, then you're going to like this video because I'm going to tell you how to get people excited about working with you before they even get on a call. So instead of having to convince people to buy your program, your calls are about you deciding if you want them in your program. In case you're new to me, I'm Nicole Piper. I went from building global brands like MTV, Nickelodeon, and Pokemon to helping health and wellness professionals build profitable online businesses. And I know after working with over 1,000 of them that selling is the hardest part for most of them. Well, I'm going to show you how to lay the groundwork ahead of time. So by the time you're on the call with a potential client, they already trust you and know they want to take the next step with you. You won't have to convince them or use pressure tactics. Instead, your calls become a conversation where you can gauge if the person is a good fit for you. That's exactly what happens when you create a trust building path before the call. A few months ago, I made a video called The 2 Paths to 10K a Month. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's a link in the description so you can take a look at that after you've watched this video. So in that one, I talked about how there are 2 ways to build a profitable online coaching business. One path is the high ticket funnel, and that's where the goal of your marketing is to get people on a call where you sell them your program. That path can work really well if you're comfortable with sales calls and have a validated offer, strong messaging, and enough money to hold you over while you're optimizing your funnel. If you've got all of that in place, that path might be right for you. But if you don't, or if the idea of high pressure sales calls doesn't feel aligned with who you are or how you want to run your business, there is another path. And it's the one I want to focus on today. This path is built around a strategic offer sequence. It builds trust with people incrementally, one step at a time. And here's why that matters so much in health and wellness. When someone's dealing with a health issue, they've usually been through the ringer. They've tried things that didn't work. They've spent money on solutions that promise a lot and delivered very little, so they're really skeptical, and they're protecting themselves from another disappointment. So when they come across your content or your ad and you're asking them to book a call and then invest $3,000 in a program they know nothing about from someone they just met, most of them aren't going to do it because you haven't earned their trust. And here's the thing: you can't fast track trust, but you can create a path that earns it in a way that feels natural for both of you. That's what a strategic offer sequence does. So let me walk you through how it works. So instead of having just one offer at one price point, you create a sequence of offers. Each one gives people a chance to experience your work, see that you understand their problem at a deeper level than anyone else, and build enough trust to take the next step. The first step brings them into your world. This is a small, easy to say yes to offer. I like a mini book for this because it's inexpensive, so it's really low risk for the buyer, and it gives you a chance to do something really important, and that's change how they think about their problem and how to solve it. This is where your pixie dust positioning comes in. You're not just giving them information, you're taking them through a process that helps them see their problem in a new way. You're showing them why the things they've tried haven't worked. You're introducing them to your unique perspective, and by the time they finish reading, you've created a shift in their thinking. They see you're different from others out there. They think this person really gets it. No one's ever explained it to me like this before. That's what builds interest and trust. You do it through insights, not hype or pressure. Now, your first offer could also be a short course, a workshop, or even a webinar. The format matters less than what it does, which is change their perspective and position you as the person who understands their problem better than anyone else. And yes, you should charge for this, even if it's just $17 or $47. In fact, charging for it is better than giving it away for free, because when someone pays, even if it's a small amount, they pay more attention. And it tells you something important. There's real demand for what you're offering. Okay, the second step is a mid-tier offer. This is where you go deeper. So you've earned some trust with the first step. Now you invite people to take another step with you, one that moves them further along the transformation they want to make. This might be more in-depth course, a small group program, or a short intensive where they start getting real results. The price point might be somewhere between $200 and $1,000 depending on what you're offering and who you're serving. The key here is that it's not just another product, it's a natural step. They've already had their perspective shifted by your book or your workshop. Now they want to go further, and this offer takes them further. At this stage, they're experiencing what it's like to work with you. So they're seeing your process in action. They're getting results, and the trust is deepening. And then the third step is your premium coaching program. This is your signature offer, the one that helps people achieve the full transformation they've been looking for. This is where you charge $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, or even more. But here's what's different. By the time someone gets here, they've already experienced your work, they already trust you, and they already believe in your approach because they've seen it work for them personally. So the conversation at this point isn't, let me convince you that I can help you. It's, let's talk about whether the full program is the right next step for you. That's a completely different conversation, and it feels completely different for both of you. Now, I want to point out something about this structure that's easy to miss. Each offer in the sequence isn't just generating revenue, although it does do that. Each offer is pre-selling the next one. So the book makes people want the course. The course makes people want the coaching program. It's a trust building sequence. Every step gives people more confidence that you're the right person to help them. And here's the other thing. Not everyone will go through all three steps. Some people will read your book and that's enough for them. Some will do the course and get what they need. And some will go all the way through to your premium program. That's exactly how it should work. You're meeting people where they are and letting them decide how far they want to go. No pressure, no manipulation, just a path that makes sense. That's trust-based marketing in action. Now, I want to be honest about something. This path takes a little longer in the beginning than the direct to high ticket funnel. You're creating multiple offers instead of just one. It's a longer game, but there are some real advantages to doing it this way. First, you don't need $5,000 to $7,000 a month in ad spend to get started. Your first offer is an easy entry point, so it's much cheaper to get people in the door. You're generating revenue, possibly from day one, even while you're building trust towards your premium program. You're validating demand at every step. If people buy your book, but nobody moves to the next offer, that tells you something valuable before you've invested months building out a big program. And most importantly, the people who do get to your premium offer are pre-sold. They've already experienced your work, they already trust you, so the close rate is much higher, and the relationship starts from a place of confidence instead of skepticism. Let me put it this way. With the direct to high ticket approach, you're essentially saying to a stranger, trust me with $3,000. With a strategic offer sequence, you're saying, here, let me show you something first. And if that resonates with you, I'll show you the next step. So you have to think about which one of those feels more aligned with the kind of business you want to run. Which one of those feels more aligned with the kind of business you want to run? So now let's put it all together. If you've been struggling to get clients with a single high ticket offer, or if the idea of high pressure sales calls makes you uncomfortable, a strategic offer sequence might be the better path for you. Start with something small that changes how people see their problem, then create a natural next step that goes deeper, then invite the right people into your premium program. Each step builds trust along the way. Each step prepares them for the next step. And by the time someone's ready for your full program, they already know you're the right person to help them. Now, the strategic offer sequence is one of the key components of my trust-based marketing method. It's a process I developed specifically for health and wellness professionals. It starts by validating your offer, making sure there's real demand for what you want to do before you invest time and money in building everything out, and finding a specific gap that no one else is filling. Then step 2 is about showing people what makes you different from every other coach out there. You do this with something I call your pixie dust positioning. It's a unique insight that makes people see you as the obvious choice. And step 3 is choosing the right marketing path, which is what we talked about today. Figuring out the structure that fits your situation, your budget, and how you actually want to run your business. I wrote a mini book that walks you through the whole method. It's called the Trust-Based Marketing Method, and there's a link to it in the description. And that's all I have for you today. If this gave you a new way of thinking about how to structure a business, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I share marketing strategies specifically for health and wellness professionals who want to build profitable online businesses. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.